Hey there, are you doing well? Do you know anything about immigration laws in your country? Neither did I. Our friends from Norway applied for British citizenship and explained to me what kind of process it is. One of the requirements is to take a Life in the UK test that has a lot of questions on the history and political system of the country. It seems unfair, as I'm pretty sure many British people wouldn't be able to answer even half of those questions correctly. Anyway, upon hearing that, I've decided to read a bit more about our political system. I guess we all know that the UK is a constitutional monarchy, since the monarch, currently Queen Elizabeth II, is the head of the state. In fact, the Queen's power in the country is rather ceremonial, which means her opinion doesn't really count. In any situation, the Prime Minister, together with the members of Parliament, have more authority. For example, the Queen should grant her assent to a bill for it to become a law. In theory, she has the right to refuse, but in fact, the last time a monarch did that was in 1708. There are probably only two monarch's prerogatives left today. First, the Queen has the right to grant particular honours without consulting the government. At least here she has the final say. Second, the Queen is considered to be above the law, which means she cannot be prosecuted. As for the Parliament, it consists of two chambers, like in the majority of countries. Parliament is located in the Palace of Westminster. By the way, it's open to public, so you can always have a tour or even attend a Parliament session. The chamber that actually has most of the power is called the House of Commons. This is where new laws are proposed, considered and debated, and then passed. I read one strange thing about the House of Commons. They have an insufficient number of seats. Only 427 members out of 650 have a place to sit. It means that at most times a lot of them never turn up. There is another interesting peculiarity about the House of Commons, namely the way voting is held. They still have two corridors that stand for yes and no. Each member is supposed to walk through the corresponding corridor, which makes the voting process very time-consuming. The other chamber is the House of Lords. Apparently, it has no analogy anywhere else in the world. They revise the current legislation as well as scrutinize the work of the House of Commons. However, they can never in fact block bills. Membership in the House of Lords used to be mostly hereditary. It means that many years ago, members of aristocracy got the right to sit in the House of Lords, and since then the right was passed from generation to generation. No wonder, some years ago, the decision was made to abolish this tradition, as a lot of people considered it undemocratic. There are still around 100 of hereditary members, but the rest are chosen by the Queen on the advice of the government. In general, if you look at political systems in other countries, almost everywhere there is a sharp distinction between three branches of government. They are executive, legislative, and judiciary. However, it's not the case in the UK. Here, the line between the three is really blurred. I think one of the most striking features of the British political system is that we don't have a written constitution. It makes a lot of people think that the country is not fully democratic. How about you? Are you interested in politics? What are some features of your country's political system? Share your answers with us in the chat.